Are you in a relationship right now?
No.
No?
No.
Guys, DM. Do your thing, do your thing. About what, is it just by choice, or maybe you've come out from a relationship, or you just, are trying to focus on like your career right now?
It's a combination of factors. So when I focused on career, um, had a I don't know, had like a roughish time, like for the second half of last year.
In a relationship?
In a relationship, but also like death and, you know?
Oh,
So I'm just in a mind space where I just want to focus on myself and think about career. And it's not like I'm actively seeking for a relationship or to be involved with someone romantically. If it does come along, cool. I'm not like, it shouldn't happen. But I'm not actively seeking.
Why? What happened? You want to share? Yes, no?
Like, I mean, it's just normal relationship things.
'Cause you just
but that's not why though.
Mhm.
So I don't want to say something right now and then people think, oh, that's why she's like here. That's not why.
No, that's not the thing.
You know,
'cause
it's been a lot of things. I mean, like I said, there was the death and there was
who died?
my grandfather.
Oh,
Yeah.
sorry.
Yeah, that's him. Right here.
Oh, that's why I wanted to ask, like, how
Yeah.
comes, is that a case that came like that? Okay, now
Yeah,
that explains, yeah.
And we were really close. I mean, grew up, like, it's, I don't know if this is like an Indian family thing in Kenya, but how like different generations live together of the same family. So we lived in the same house for all my life, and yeah, so it was a little,
So
it was really,
with
and it was unexpected, and yeah, so that happened, and then I had to go back to finish my thesis, and I wasn't prepared for it. And yeah, going back, but I was also tutoring at my university. So I was tutoring undergraduate level first year. So I was tutoring some courses, and I couldn't just leave. Like, that's not who I am. Like, if I've said I'm going to do something, I need to do it all the way, or just not do it at all. And I was already doing it. So there was a lot of responsibilities and, you know, things that I had already signed up for and I had to go back to. And it was something that I had to deal with slowly, and I think it's a process, and I don't think it's over yet. And with that, and then I had to move back here. So it's been quite, you know, I'm just riding that wave right now.
Where's the boyfriend in all of this when I'm still trying to figure out,
mean,
like...
There's no boyfriend.
He's been completely erased even in the story.
Yeah.
What? Because, you know, as you're talking, I'm like waiting for the part where you say, like, you know, and then broke up or this thing.
Yeah, we did break up a few days after I lost my grandfather, actually.
What?
Yeah.
Okay, but wait. Okay, hold on. Let's not be in a rush
No.
with this. Because I'll tell you why. Because, like, even just on the podcast in general, like, people at times connect with the littlest things.
Yeah.
And, okay, of course, the loss of, like, your grandpa, like, that's, like, really huge, first of all, like, to you, especially that you're staying with him. And I'm sure, like, you're really, like, good friends. Most grandparents, like, you know, have that, like, bond with grandchildren that at times not even the parent would understand. But I'm guessing you had that.
Yeah.
So I'm just gonna ask, though, right?
Yeah.
Because that's why the podcast is here. Like, did he break up with you, or did you break up with him?
It was
3
me,
days.
but it was like more of a mutual thing. Like, you know, you just find out things that have happened or are happening, and then you're just like, I can't be in this. Like,
at the same time after you lose, like, your grandpa?
Yeah.
Okay.
So yeah, it was a really, really difficult moment and time, and it's just one of those things. Like, I mean, I don't think timing is ever right in any of these situations.
Yeah, just
a breakup, loss of someone that you love, but because you can't decide and it just happens, and like life hits you, and I had to go back, and even with that, like, my family, like I said, they're super supportive, and Initially, I always wanted to study, but I didn't know if I wanted to do postgraduate right after finishing my undergraduate. But then I did get a scholarship based on merit, and then I was like, okay,
Where?
I'm not gonna get
In what?
for my postgraduate.
Yeah.
So I got a scholarship to do economic history, and I like, you can't let that pass, you know? Like,
Yeah.
I'm that type of person, so I just couldn't let it pass. And I was like, I got to get it done. I wanted to do it anyway. So, yeah. So, and because of that, I had to go back. Otherwise, the scholarship falls, and I still have to pay everything else.
Yeah.
And probably not complete the degree either. You know what I mean?
Was your boyfriend Kenyan or South African?
South African. Be careful of these South African men. Be careful of these South African men. No.
Hey, hold on. But there must be like good things that were in a relationship, right?
Yeah, definitely, most definitely.
And,
Yeah, you can't discard the good because of the one or few things that have happened.
Okay, so since you mentioned something really important, like, dating a South African guy, and maybe like probably, let's say, dating like a Kenyan guy. What's wrong? What's wrong with South African men? Why did you say it that way? Because even funny things like, the two ladies that I'm posting their podcast this week, they're like, yo, we can't with South African men. So I was like, what do you mean?
They play games.
Really?
Yeah. Just stay away. If you
a majority of them, or is this like a stereotype, or just like even when you get there, like that's the
stereotype.
Yeah.
It is a stereotype, definitely. But I think you have to be careful anywhere. But South African men, they're a different breed.
Did he cheat on you?
Each? What?
Did he cheat?
He? Not answering.
So that means yes. Okay. You don't need to answer it.
We don't know that.
Okay. Let's just say we don't know yet. We don't know yet. But what's the difference? Like, let's say now that you're single and when you're in a relationship. There are some people who say, like, when you're single, you're more productive, you think more clearly. That sense of independence without like an attachment give you more drive.
I think so. In a relationship, right, when I look at my parents, and that's what I would, if I ever had a relationship, that's what I would want, or at least be working towards. I mean, they've been together way too long, so it can't just happen. And this is something that I think a relationship, it's like always a work in progress. People are always changing, your relationship keeps changing, different things happen, and you're dealing with different things all the time. And I just lost my trail of thought. What did you ask me?
You're talking about, oh my God. He just started. It hasn't even been a minute. But I've noticed something with you. If you don't want to answer something, you find a really nice way of beating around the bush. And then, of course, you come to forgetting what you actually was supposed to answer.
Politics.
But sir, that's the thing I was asking about. What's the difference that you've noticed? Because a lot of people like just say, when you're single and just.
So like I said, like I don't think the problem is whether you're single or like in a relationship. I think it's like who you're in a relationship with and how you two complement each other or not. So I think progress can happen either way, but it's like the type of progress. Like if you have like your goals like explicitly, mentioned to each other and
hold on. We're not just talking about in general. We're talking about you.
Yeah. So
what have you noticed about you?
So definitely,
I've learned something very important with you. You know how to
roundabout.
And start generalizing everything.
Okay,
we're talking about you.
Me,
what have you noticed about you that's different?
Right now,
Yeah.
I know for sure I can't be with someone that is, I guess, doesn't have direction. So it doesn't and like ambition. So you could have a goal and not have like a clear pathway to how to get there, and things happen along the way, obstacles come across that you have never thought about, understood. But
he
at
didn't
least
know
if
what he wanted.
if you have a vision and you have if you're ambitious, then there's that drive that keeps you going, no matter like
South
what
African
happens.
men are not
or
ambitious.
Not South African men, but
Him specifically.
No, you said I'm talking about myself.
Were you dating a rapper?
I'm not talking about any guy.
Oh yeah,
I'm talking
okay,
about me.
okay, yeah.
And like this
But
hypothetical figure.
Oh no, you can't be hypothetical.
Hypothetical.
Okay,
figure.
okay, yeah.
This is Bay.
So you want somebody with.
Yeah, but someone
Is that the only reason you'd break up with someone?
You can grow together.
Yeah.
Well, like I said, I'm not telling you what went down.
Definitely cheating.
It's not.
When you say playing games.
But that was a generalization for South African men.
They do that a lot.
Ish. I need to go watch that podcast. You need to post that now.
So I'll post it. Like they were just saying, like, to one point they were like, we can't find like such really nice men like we found in Kenya. Like they were just like, I say no.
Where are these men? Where are these ladies? I must go to where they're going and find these people.
Yeah. Where in Kenya?
Yes.
Even in Kenya, you're having a problem dating.
I'm not
in
really
Kenya?
having a problem. It's just because I'm not like. It's not like where I'm at. Like my head is not there.
No, hold on. No. You know, you mentioned just there's some things that you mention and you just want to like backpedal like you didn't say it.
I'm just gonna eat my cake.
Has somebody asked you out? Or what do you think of? Like, just say.
On a date, yes.
And in general, because how long have you stayed single? Like, let's say from mid last year, till the beginning of the year, probably.
Now.
Till now?
Mm-hmm.
Oh. Okay, hold on.
You make it sound like it's so sad.
No.
Look at his face. He was like, till now?
No. I'm just trying to figure out, because not every person like takes like a breakup the same way. Like you might be like, probably in that phase where like you just hate men, like, and you don't want to see like all men are trash. All men are trash.
No, don't. That you're using it so inappropriately.
No,
that
I'm just
hashtag.
saying. No, I'm just saying.
Hashtag is not for situations like this, though.
Oh yeah, but I'm just saying in general. You might come from a space where it was like.
Yeah. No, I'm not at that space. Like I don't want like the one experience to shape like my entire view on something. And I'm not going to let that happen.
Don't.
And that's why I said I'm not like actively seeking for something. Like, there's some people that are like, I'd really just want to be in a relationship with someone and actively seek for it. And
but for you,
and I'm just not there right now. Mm-hmm. And for the type of person that I vision myself with in the long run, right?
Yeah.
So
what do you look for?
But
What are you looking for in a guy?
Then I'm assuming he's probably also not like actively seeking and is like getting his shit together. He
might be actively seeking as he waits to bump into you.
Nah, you don't have time for that. If you're getting your shit together, you don't have time for that. So actively seeking, it's like an active investment.
Yeah.
You not just put your money in the bank and you're like, okay, we'll see what happens. No, you're actively like, investing it into stocks and then changing, pulling out, retaining. Yeah. It's a whole process. So you don't have time for that then.
Okay, but still, here's the thing. What kind of guys are you into?
That's
I'm just trying to figure out, like, what kind of people do you date? Have you ever dated outside your race? Have you ever dated outside your race?
Yes.
You have?
Yes.
Okay. Okay, very nice. But I mean, what exactly do you look for?
So like
I'm just trying to figure out. That's why I keep on asking you. Like, you look like you date a rapper or something. Some with big chains and everything.
Going back to the rapper.
Yeah.
Like,
because you're not telling me, so I'm just trying to figure out.
No, and
a
well-educated,
like lawyer kind of person, like what?
Well, yeah, well-educated, but there isn't like the certain figure, right? So I can't just be like, oh, I'm into rappers, or I'm into, I don't know, businessmen, or like, like I don't know
Some
about that.
Some people have those specifications.
Yeah, I don't have those specifications, but like there's a certain type of like personality that I'm probably like
you're going
more
for
drawn
personality.
To. Yeah. So like it's like you don't know until you get to know the person, and like. Because if you're talking about a relationship, not just a hookup, those are very different things.
Oh, so you hook up as well?
No. Well.
Oh wow.
I'm not
Like
responding.
there you go. Like there you go. Okay. I knew there was something special about
No.
you. No high five. no, but I'm just saying, cause the thing, we are just in a different generation where dating is completely different, and
Yeah.
even
So
even like
I'm old school, to answer your question.
yeah. Also
So
you.
I'm old school, never been on Tinder or any of those other Bumble and I don't know what other apps exist here. Never been on that. Don't even know how it works. I just know there's swiping right or left or something. And
yeah,
then
that's Tinder.
It's supposed to work, yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, so never been on that. And I'm like a little more old school, like don't send your friend to approach me.
Yeah, calm approach.
Yeah, like be at least confident enough to approach me yourself and like respectful. But yeah, ambitious. You need to be ambitious. Like have some drive and
you're
like,
really into like just.
We need to be good together. Like you know what I mean? Like because in the long run, like when you were talking about love, going back to that, like in the long run, like it's an everyday commitment.
Yeah.
Like sometimes you're gonna be like, I don't want to see you. That doesn't mean it's over. Like you're just like, I'm just tired. Like I've had a long day. It's been a lot of like meetings and quarrels and
can
I'm
I just have some me time?
Yeah, like I just want to chill and just not be around anyone. So it's not per se you, just not anyone. And like, and that doesn't mean it's off, you know? Like it's fine. You're having a day. It's chilled. And it's a constant thing that you work on every day, and I think it's beautiful, but it is a lot of work. Yeah. So if you're not ambitious and you don't have like a set like mind on certain
that
things,
you actually,
and then you're gonna leave in like no time because this is a lot to handle. Like it's a lot.
Okay. What wouldn't you? Just another one. What wouldn't you like just tolerate in a guy? Like this is just a complete no-no. Like somebody who maybe somebody who doesn't know how to dress, somebody who's rude. Like what's like a complete no to you?
That is, like you need to treat not only me well, but people around as well. Loyalty.
That's a hard one, eh?
Oof, it's an important one. It's an important one. And like just be fun. Like don't be afraid. Like sometimes just let your hair down and just chill, and it's okay. Yeah. There's like a lot of things I can think of, but like.
What's a complete no?
A complete no. A complete no. Probably, like, if you treat people like shit. And you're not like, you know, aware of like social issues, or you think like, like let's just not talk about these things, and like, I mean, who cares about race? Who cares about like feminism? Like it's so overrated. Everyone's a feminist now. I would lose my shit. Like,
are you a feminist?
Like, I don't like the word feminist when it comes to like. I think I'm more for balance and equity, and I'm not saying feminism isn't about that. When you think about feminism, and I'm trying to remember who wrote it, but I read this thing written by actually a Kenyan person, and they were just talking about, she was talking about how the idea of feminism in its like deepest core essence is so it only speaks to a certain group of people, like because of the history of feminist activity. And it was at a time when people of color were not even regarded as like humans, you know. So it speaks to a very certain type of feminism, and the way that a lot of feminist activities are shaped, and you know, and the people that they involve and don't involve. It's also quite exclusionary in itself between a certain group of females.
You've lost me, but you know, go on.
So like you know, when you see like an event on feminism, and you'd see a very particular group of women there that fit certain standards and
with
norms,
shaved hair,
and
or
it doesn't have to be shaved hair, but even in terms of the privileges that they have.
And, okay.
What is enabling them to make that difference? But at the same time, because of that, it perpetuates a certain type of idea that you need to be this to be a feminist.
To be a feminist, yeah.
Or you need to fit the certain box. And like you probably have picked up, I'm really not about fitting into a box.
Yeah, no, I've noticed.
I'm more like there's a lot more to certain things. So when I think of feminism, I think you can't apply a general statement or a general perspective on any female.
Yeah.
Everyone's dealing with very different issues.
Different experiences.
Exactly. So, yes, I am a feminist in that sense, but I don't fit that typical box of feminists. Yeah.
I get you.
Yeah.
But you're not like those people like, I hate men and...
I don't hate men.
Exes, perhaps. Ooh.
But I hate the patriarchy. So that's how when you said men are trash, when we were talking about love and whatever.
Yeah.
But for me, men are trash doesn't mean every single man is trash.
This means your ex-boyfriends, right?
Patriarchy is
It means
trash.
your ex-boyfriend.
It means the patriarchy is trash. And that hashtag was there it was to make people angry. And it was to make like that social stance and like but for me it was more of like every man, whether you want it or not, you benefit from the patriarchy. And that's why that hashtag was, it was phrased in that very particular way to do very particular things, and it did achieve it.
It did.
Yeah. And people don't understand it. Like, so many people have told me, oh, not all men are trash. It's not all men. You haven't met the right men. And I was like, do you think about that? Do you think about your father like this? And I'm like, no, it's about the patriarchy. It's not about like every single man. But it's a sad reality that the fact that you're a guy, you benefit from the system.
Yeah, but that's
inherently.
just, and that's how just things are. It's not even about, even from childhood, like people are kind of like conditioned like that. So it's not something that they're even aware of when they're growing up. Do you believe in like those gender roles and stuff?
So funny because we were having this debate just the other day.
Yeah.
When my sister was at
Here
the
we go.
house.
Yeah.
So I'm just like live and let live, right? And that's what I really strongly believe in. But at the same time, that doesn't mean like if you were being, I don't know, abusive to someone else, I wouldn't be like, oh, live and let live. Because now you're impeding on someone's way of living or enjoying life or whatever it may be, expressing themselves or whatever. So I would take a stand in that. So again, it's like a situational approach. So live and let live. I'm like, you want to go kiss that guy. I'm happy. As long as it's in the spirit of love and peace and harmony and not impeding on anyone else's peace and love and harmony, I'm chilled. Yeah.
So you still haven't told me about gender roles.
Gender roles. I think gender is a social construct.
So you don't believe there is man
and
woman?
I think for me that's like sex, right? So that's biological.
Yeah.
And then gender is a social construct because it makes sure you express yourself in a certain way because of the reproductive organs that you have and what you look like or the rest of it. And that's like the difference for me. So that's how I'm like, you think you express yourself better as a female, for example, then you do it. Like that makes you happy and you can be more expressive and go for it.
Would you date a boyfriend who's like that?
Would I? So I haven't, and I'm a heterosexual, so I don't know how that would play out. Like, I don't think I'd be attracted to another female or like female characteristics because of my sexuality. But then again, I don't judge other people if they are like.
Okay.
It is what it is. You're having
fair,
fun.
fair.
We're having fun. It's
fair.
Love.
Fair enough.
All fair in love
Fair
and war.
enough.
Not war, love.
Since we're just in the topic of love, do you believe like maybe, in one day getting married and having kids? Is that something that you ever like have like just that fantasy somewhere in your head?
Yeah, definitely. So I do see myself at some point in time getting married and having a child or children or whatever. Yeah.
It's something
I
that
just don't know when. Like, there's no time frame on it or
yeah.
whatever. But it's something that I like. But at the same time, that doesn't mean like.
Are your parents like,
anyone,
you know, those kind of parents who would tell you that, you know, by the time you get to this age, you know, just try and start building something up, so by the time you're this age you can have, do you ever have like those kind of conversations? Because you know, with this generation you can get lost in the hustle and everything.
Yeah.
But do you ever have those conversations?
Yes, and like to an extent I understand where it's coming from, because you know, if you want children and like, I mean, your biological clock is a thing you need to think about as well.
Yeah.
And you don't just want to have babies just cause.
Yeah.
So I get it in that sense, and like in terms of, you know, just building a family together and things like that. But at the same time, it's hectic because of the amount of pressure it comes with. Like, my sister got married in December, and literally the day she got married, and people were just like, "Oh, so are you seeing anyone?"
Yeah, they're like,
"Oh, have you seen that guy?" "Oh." You know, people calling our house.
They already want to hook you up.
Yeah, and I'm just like, no. You're getting it wrong.
No pressure. It has to be like at your own pace.
Yeah, exactly. And I, like, when it comes to like career or studying and whatever, I work well under pressure. But when it comes to anything social,
no,
pressure just does not do it for me. Like, it just not, like, yeah.
Okay, so since you've mentioned, like, just touching, we're still on the dating thing and stuff, because I'm just trying to see, like, don't read my notes. I'm trying to look at my notes. Don't look at my notes.
Look at your handwriting.
You're just trying to be clever and see my notes. So, like, let's say somebody's going out. You're dating someone, right?
Okay.
Like, what are some of the little things that, you know, just make you happy? Like, how's your boyfriend supposed to...
Mindfulness.
Like, just, hold on. Do you like somebody to spoil you, like somebody who's got money, crazy money, or do you like just somebody who can take you somewhere for a picnic, an easy, like, just lunch treat somewhere, some seafood perhaps, or
I'm a vegetarian.
Oh shit. Oh yeah, they can take you to a nice vegetarian spot. I don't know where they do exist. Yeah.
They do exist.
Yeah, we have veggie burgers, all these nice places. Yeah. So what ideally, like, if somebody's dating you, what are the little things that, you know?
I mean, it doesn't have to be like a super fancy place that we
Is
go
it champagne?
Like,
are you waking up to champagne breakfast?
No. It doesn't need to be any of, like, you know, all of those things. But I think like mindfulness and like little things. Like, I really like ice cream. So my sister...
That's it?
My sister, to like sometimes cheer me, she'll just be like, let's just go for a drive, and we'll go for like a drive. We just chat, put on like nice music that we both really like, and we just chat away, go get like ice cream, chill.
That's it.
Yeah, get back home. And like you suggested, like the picnics, I mean,
those little simple things.
Yeah. I mean, if we're celebrating something, then go to a fancy place or whatever. But if it's all the time, that's boring.
Yeah.
Like, you gotta change things up.
Like what?
And it doesn't always have to revolve around food. Like, the idea of a date always revolving around food or drinks or coffee.
Outdoor sports, maybe, like activity.
I'm like, let's go, I don't know.
Rock climbing.
We used to have a mini golf place. I mean, there's bowling now.
Yeah.
So, like, you know, things like that.
Yeah.
Or like rock climbing. Yeah.
Just those little simple things. You don't want somebody to shower you with gifts. And
I mean, it would be nice once in a while.
Yeah.
But if that's like
on
all
your birthday,
the time, like, I need to. If that's all the time, and I'm also like, I always feel like I want to reciprocate. So, and I feel like when it's always fancy and always, you know, showy and gifts and it puts a different type of pressure on the relationship, and like it creates these new standards of.
Not to other women.
You know? So I wouldn't lie, like, I like to get spoiled. And presents are great. My birthday's coming up, just saying.
Yeah, next month.
So I do like all these things. But for an everyday, I feel like it also, like, I'd be tired. Like, you go to a fancy place, I must dress up, you know? And sometimes you just want to be, like, you want to see the real you.
Yeah.
I want to see what are you like when you've just gone for a swim and then right after, like, you know what I mean?
The little simple things.
Exactly. So if I really want to get to know someone and I really care about like that, like, it doesn't need to be fancy all the time. It's nice once in a while, and you appreciate it more when it's once in a while.
You get a better connection with that.
Yeah, and it's like it's more mindful, I think, when you're trying to really get to know someone's personality and like who they are, and not just always go to like lavish places. And
okay, that's nice to hear, because I'm always interested in just knowing like all these little
Why do you like getting spoiled? Rotten.
I've been waiting to be spoiled for the longest time. Nobody's spoiling me.